Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I don't have any glasses on, y'all. Welcome to Shine with Andrea. How are you guys doing? What's up, Shine crew? Hello, hello, hello. You can't even see my lipstick. You can't even see that I have lipstick on. Or maybe you can see that I can't. Hey, everybody. Hello, Miss Roxanne. Good morning, Jan. Good morning. Oh my gosh, Jan, you should just come on here and join me, Jan. You should come on here and join me. Hey, Miss Rochelle. Hey, Miss Rochelle, how are you? What is going on? Hello. Hey, Antoine. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Miss Vita. Hey, how are you? Oh my gosh. Check your messages, Jan. Check your messages. Hello. Hey, Wandretta. How are you, Wandretta? I feel like I've been missing you, Wandretta. How are you, sweetheart? You doing good? You doing good? Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Yeah, so my background fell down. So just
I couldn't see.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't see anything.
This is what my mom brought me. Let me see the other ones. Thank you. Oh, we're just going to be blinging today. Okay. We're just going to be blinging today. That's okay. Yeah, so my other background fell down. That's yeah, I know. Just a little craziness this morning. That's all. That's just a little craziness this morning. So yeah, my background fell down. But look what was under it. This is what was behind it. So, I was prepared. But then I sat down and I was like, press the button. I'm like, wait a second. I don't have any glasses on. I can't see. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Tara. Good morning. So, this just happened. Patrice, it just happened. Just now. Just now. But you know what? God is still good. God is still good. God is still good. All right, y'all. Well, guess what, y'all? Guess what? Guess what? Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, Shine Crew. Surprise.
Tara said, Jenny.
I don't know why she calls me Janny. I don't know why.
I guess it's like the same thing, the same reason I call Francesca Franny.
Oh, maybe so. Okay.
It's just like it's like we're hugging you. It's like, oh, Jenny.
Is that what that is?
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay, that's how I'll receive it then. Hello, everybody. This was very impromptu.
It was. Apparently everything is impromptu.
I know. What is going on?
Oh my gosh, it fell. I didn't have any glasses on. I couldn't find any glasses. I pressed the button. I'm like, well, I can't get up now. Oh my gosh.
It's
Oh,
been Mondaying already.
that, you know what? That is the perfect thing to say. It has already been Mondaying.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. But this is really cool that you're able to come and join me this morning.
Yeah, it is. It is. Some things have been they have been happening in the background.
Well, whatever has been happening, I know you'll share when you're ready, but whatever's been happening, I am happy that it's happening.
We know you're happy.
Yes. Yes, I'm happy it's happening.
Oh my gosh, you are so hilarious. Yes, I will share eventually, not quite yet, but yeah, it's coming because it's a testimony in the making,
Amen.
and some things have just been transpiring, and
And God has been guiding.
God is always, he is always guiding. I
Okay.
promise you he is. He is
Okay.
always guiding. And I am truly grateful and thankful that things are going the way that they are. Um I don't have all the details yet, but he's guiding.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes, yes, yes.
Amen. Amen. Wow.
I'll
Well,
probably have to come on later for part two, maybe later this week or early next week,
ab-
and really give you all the intricate details.
absolutely. Whenever you're ready. You know, you're always welcome as a guest on Shine with Andrea.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. You are just in rare form this morning. I've been watching you over on that click clock thing, and you've just been showing out, and you and all your dancing going on and being
Listen,
on for
I'm
50
giving,
hours. I'm like,
I'm giving the chair a workout. Do you hear me?
I'm like, who is this person?
This
And
chair,
then
this chair is like,
look, but you are not alone because I'm pretty sure there are other chair dancers out there in the world as well.
yeah, but this chair's like, listen, lady, this is not what we were hired for.
But not only the chair, but even when you're rapping, I mean, I say, you know what, back in the day, but it's good stuff. It's good
Don't tell the
stuff.
Shine Crew that I'm a rapper now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You are amazing. You are so amazing.
Oh,
You really,
stop.
really are. You are, seriously. You just know how to do it, whatever God gives you, you just, like we've learned in these 100 days of believing bigger. I mean, on a more serious note, seriously, it's like the things that God has put inside of us. Sometimes we don't even realize what we have inside of us,
Mm,
but circumstances and situations kind of cause us to tap into those areas.
that's true. That's true.
And when it begins to grow and bloom and
Mhm.
blossom, it's like, wow. So that's what I've been kind of doing with you for the last, few times you've been doing your thing. I've been like, wow, that's so cool. It's just cool. It really is.
I don't know. I don't know. I know you're just looking at me like,
No, I'm
who is
telling
this?
you,
Who
you
is
have us pumped and excited. We're like, what's next? What is next?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's it's so funny because um everybody just is like they message me and they're like, we don't know what's gonna happen next.
Exactly.
They're like, we don't know what's gonna happen next. And I have people that like last night we started last night at 5. And
Mhm.
the reason that okay, Jan, the
Oh
reason
my
I
God.
started at 5 is because I wanted to get off early. Jan, why was I on there till 11?
Not surprising. Not surprising.
I was on there till 11. And so at the end, we literally had a worship session. So to the point where one of the ladies that was watching, she was like, I'm a choir director and you and Gordon need to be on the praise team.
Yes.
We were singing a cappella. Now that's funny because I can't sing. Like if I sing by myself, I'm definitely gonna go off key. If I sing with somebody, there's a chance I might get it right.
Yeah.
Right. And so we were singing like some really, really old time, like Sunday school songs, a lot of Jamaican old time Sunday school songs.
Was Gordon singing in his accent?
Can you sing in your accent? I was singing in an accent. Okay, I'll tell you one of the songs. Let me see. So one of the songs is one that my grandmother taught me. And it says, oh, and then I was clapping my thighs, girl. I was clapping my thighs. That's why they hurt this morning. No, not my thighs. No, not like that. I mean my hands on my thighs. Oh my gosh, Jan. See, this is going down already. This is going
Keep going.
Jan, you can't take something so pure and just make it trash.
Okay, keep going. Okay, keep going with your clapping thighs. Okay.
Why is that when Lisa Bell got to come in?
Hey, Lisa Bell.
Oh my gosh. Jay was there. Jay, please tell them that I was not clapping my thighs. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Okay, keep going with the story. What else happened? You were making a joyful noise unto the Lord. That's what you were doing.
It was a very joyful noise. So I was.
What was the song that your grandmother taught you?
We shall have a grand time up in heaven. We shall have a grand time up in heaven. Have a grand time. Walking with the angels, singing glory, hallelujah. We shall have a grand time up in heaven. Have a grand time. See?
Oh, yeah. I could imagine how that was at the end of that over there. Yeah. I could imagine.
So Gordon was singing, I was singing, and then Jay came on because Gordon and I sang for a while, and then I was like, I can't leave the people like this. Like, the people need to hear a real singer. Like, we can't go out like that. You know,
did
when
Jay come on and sing?
Jay came on and sang. She sang so good. I was crying. Okay. I was crying. Oh my gosh.
That is so awesome.
Yes. And then, hold on one second. And then her husband was in the background. And her husband is Jamaican. So we knew a lot of the same songs. So when I tell you the excitement, it was amazing. Wow. It was so good. It was so good. And you know what? One of the ladies that was on, she said, see, this is why you don't leave Andrea's live early. So this is why you don't leave Andrea's live early. But you know what's really, really terrible though, Jan?
What?
Is that it was that live was the very first live out of all the lives that I've done on that platform. It was not uploaded.
You better shut up.
So I really wanted that clip. I really, really wanted that clip. I wanted to take that end part and I really wanted to use that for content to share because it was really it was an amazing time. But I guess we just said Jesus one too many times for their liking.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was just getting ready to ask you if you got the clip of it.
Nope. Nothing. Nothing.
Well, you guys will just have to do a replay later on. So,
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Yeah, but yeah, it was like due to technical difficulties or something like that. So, hey Nettie, welcome Nettie. Hey, so Nettie shared with us last night that she was a little bit nervous about going to her oncology appointment this morning. And so I checked in with her this morning and it looked like it went pretty good. So we got to pray for Nettie before we go, Jan.
okay.
Nettie, let me tell you something. This is your day, girl. This is your
Oh my gosh,
day.
don't start.
Your day. Let me tell you, my girl could pray.
Don't
Oh,
start.
oh, wait, sorry, wrong platform. So but I'm just so tickled to have you here with me.
I'm sure you are.
I am tickled.
I know you could not wait.
No, absolutely not.
I know
Absolutely
my
not.
feelings were well, not really my feelings were hurt, but I was hurt that when you had all the various people that came on to help you because of that 9 to 5, I wasn't able to do it and have
Yeah,
a day.
yeah,
So I'm grateful that today worked out the way that it did. See, God always has a master plan. He
yes,
always has a master plan, and here I am. I have my day as well. So I'm
yes,
grateful for that.
yes. And then we have this. Tara, you weren't tickled when I came.
You already know how Tara is. Tara is like
Okay.
my little sister who just I don't know. Tara, there is enough Andrea love to go around. I
Oh,
promise.
baby,
It's enough Andrea
baby,
love to
there's
go around.
enough. There
Stop
is
it.
enough.
Don't be jealous, Tara. Don't be jealous.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Well, listen. Good morning, everybody who's coming on. My name is Andrea Harrison, and I'm the Chief Shine Officer of Shine with Andrea. And I've got Growth Gang, Growth Gang, who was birthed out of the Shine crew, out of Shine with Andrea. This is one of our babies, Miss Janny.
My gosh. I am actually the gardener of the growth gang.
Okay. What did I say?
Just the growth gang. I'm
Oh,
the
okay.
gardener of the growth
She's
gang.
the gardener. She's the gardener.
We grow over there.
Yes. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that because it's like, how does something grow? Sunshine. You got the sunshine. You got the rain, right? And you got the nurturing,
Yes.
right? And so I love what God I love what God is doing. I love what God is doing in all of our lives. And if we could just be patient and hold on, you know, through all the rough times, the hard times, through all the questions, if we could just hang on through all of it and just like my friends Brian and Lena Patterson, it's actually their quote: push past your quit. If you can just push past your quit, God has so much for us. I was talking last night, probably for the first hour. I went and sat over by the pool, not at my table. I just went and sat over by the pool. And one of the things that I was saying is, I felt such joy when I was out there. I felt such joy. Joy I haven't felt in a long time because I've been burnt out. I've been burnt out, right? And things have changed and they're changing, and it's because I took a step of faith. I started to be obedient, and I was obedient in one aspect of my life, but there was something else that God wanted me to do, and I wasn't stepping in it because I didn't believe that what's happening right now could happen for me. And, you know, sometimes it takes some of us longer than others. Some people, they just get it. They just jump in. They jump in with both feet, and they're like, whatever, God, whatever you want me to do, I'm just going to do it. If I mess up, I know you're going to change it, and don't ask questions. Some of us question it and question it, and we put God on trial for 6 months. And then when the verdict comes out, we got to go to him and say, you know what? And I had to do this. I had to say, I thank you, but let me first say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ever doubting you. I'm sorry for ever doubting that you wouldn't do this for me.
Yeah.
And I just found so much joy yesterday in being able to just sit there and just take the time to talk, not rushing into what I was there for, but just take the time to talk, right? And be free to talk. Because a lot of times we get so caught up in trying to get what we're there for. And we're in the back of our heads, we know a lot of times why we're there. We know how bad it is, and we gotta do what we gotta do to make it to the next day. And we don't have time to be sitting around chatting. We gotta get down to business, right? And so to be able to sit there and to be at peace, and to know that I'm in a place where I am really experiencing God move in my life, like take me from hour to hour. I wouldn't even say day to day. I would say hour to hour. And to be able to rest in him is quite incredible. But I literally had to ask him for forgiveness. I had to repent because I doubted him.
Wow. It's like you're not doing it intentionally, but
Right.
it's like this story is being pulled out of me right now. And God is telling me because somebody needs to hear it.
Mm.
And me not wanting to share is really out of fear,
Mm.
because I do know that you have people praying for you and wishing you well, but you also have people who sometimes wish for your downfall.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And I can't, especially with what he has called me to do,
Mm.
I know I cannot
Be-
worry about those people.
Nope. Nope.
So instead of waiting, let me give you a brief synopsis of what's going on.
And
This
don't rush it.
Oh, no, 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 no,
If you
no.
come back,
Because as you were talking, I'm
okay.
hearing him speak to me. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna move if he doesn't tell me to.
Right. Right.
So the thing about it is, this is something that has been in the works for a very long time. And if anybody who knows me, they know that my calling has been to encourage women.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was young, God has always given me a heart for women or girls. My girlfriends that I used to hang out with, I'm always the one who tries to encourage, tries to make sure everybody's good, tries to make sure, they feel better. That's just me. That's my heart. That's what I do. When I met Andrea, it was during a time when we were both in this business. And for whatever reason, God wanted me to shift. He wanted me to continue to do the platform, but he didn't want me to do it with that business.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little confused because I'm like, okay, without the business, how am I going to be on the platform? What in the world am I going to do on the platform? And I happened to see her video one day, and make a long story short, some of you have heard this before, some of this is new to some people. But she was doing these live devotionals, and I reached out to her and I said, "Hey," I said, "what you're doing now, does it have anything to do with the business?" And she was like, "No, not at all." And she said, "You need to do these." And I was like, "I need to do what?" She was like, "Live devotionals." And I was like, "What is that?" And she explained it to me. And at that particular time, I don't know if it was her first round or her second round, but she was at the end of doing 100 Days of Believing Bigger. And she had brought on a few ladies to give their testimonies as to how 100 Days of Believing Bigger had changed their lives. And the one that I caught happened to be Tara's.
Mm.
And I have been hooked
Mm.
ever since.
Mhm.
So, to make a long story short, I started doing my live devotionals. And to go back a little bit, I met a girlfriend when I lived in Texas who had told me, "Jan, you need to come out of corporate America. Corporate America is not where you need to be." She said, "God has put so much more inside of you, and you just have so many other things that you could be doing. And it's just not where you need to be."
Mhm.
But let me tell you what held me back. What held me back from stepping out on faith was fear. I said, "I'm independent. I don't like asking anybody for anything." I just always felt like God made me to work in corporate America. So let me do that. That was in my mind,
Right.
that was my blessing
Right.
in my mind.
Right.
But
When you do it for so
sometimes
long, when you do it for so long, you can't really see anything else.
I couldn't see anything else,
No.
because I started asking myself, I was like, but if I'm not doing this, who am I?
Mhm.
It became my identity. I was like,
Yes.
who am I? If I'm not doing this, who am I?
Yes.
So I began to do some digging, and I began to do some self reflection. I mean, I'm telling you, this has been years.
Mhm.
So the last job where I was employed, I actually went into that position interviewing for one thing, and the VP of finance actually chose me to put me in a position to do something totally different.
Mm.
It was something that was new to me. I had never done before, but she had enough faith in my resume, my experience, my presentation,
Mhm.
everything that God had put in me. She saw and she said, "You know what? Instead of you doing that, I think you'll be better doing this." I
Mhm.
said, "Okay, no problem. I'll try it. Let's see how it works." So I did it. I excelled in it, but it was still something that I don't know. It just wasn't. It I don't know what it. I don't know. It just wasn't there.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was so weird because I wasn't connecting with anybody.
Mhm.
And I have been through that process before, where
Mm.
God had to teach me that sometimes it's not that you're being rejected,
Mhm.
sometimes it's just the fact that He's setting you apart.
Right. Yes.
And you have to know
It.
the difference between the two.
Right.
Because I have gone on jobs before where I didn't connect, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, well, dang, why? What's up, you know? But in this case, I've grown enough to know that it wasn't that people or anybody was rejecting me. It was just I was in a different place.
Place. Right.
And let me tell you, what was happening is I also began to sit in my comfort zone.
Mm. That's a very dangerous place to be. And I don't know if you realize, but today is danger
You
zones.
better shut up.
Uh huh.
Let me tell you, I sat in that comfort zone, and God was, when I tell you it was uncomfortable, but God will allow us to sit in some places He will allow us to be uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
until, like you said a few minutes ago, we step out on faith and we begin to walk in obedience.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, what happened is I continued to be, I was trying to be obedient, at least in the area where I believed he wanted me to be obedient in.
Hold on one second. Isn't that what we do though? We
Mhm.
compartmentalize, right? And we God says to do something, and so we say, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it over here, and I'm gonna do it this way because this is what feels comfortable, right? And we do it like this, and God's like, no, I want you to do it like this.
Yes.
And you're like, no, 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 I'm not ready for that, God. I'm not ready for that. No, that we can't do that right now. But will you be okay with just right here? And he
This
will
is
let us sit right here, right? And because he wants us to be here so that he can give us so much more. But we want to do things our way because, like you said, we're afraid. Go on.
so there have been some things that were transpiring, and I knew it was God telling me, this is not where I want you to be. This is not what I want you to be doing. I've already told you what I want you to do. I want to expand your visibility, but you have these 8 hours, which is, first of all, the first fruits of your day. I don't
Mm.
want you giving them the first fruits of your day. I want the first fruits of your day. That's
Mm.
number one. Number two, it was like you just have so many things inside of you that I want to birth.
Mm.
They're stopping the process. They are stopping your birthing process. That's what disobedience does.
Does. Yes, it
The
does.
things that he has already put inside of us
Side of
to
us. Yes.
come forth,
Yes.
sometimes they can't come forth because of our disobedience.
Yep.
So I'm at a point in my life where I'm tired of being disobedient.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of trying to do it my way. I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired of being in control.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got to a point I said, God, if you don't want it for me, I don't want it for me. So on Friday, I happened to go into work. Something transpired and I left. I walked away. Now, please know I'm a
Wait.
very, what crazy? What? She is such a nut. What?
She said something transpired
Yes.
and I walked away. You need to give us a moment to digest that, to really take that in. Shan. You can't just
Wait,
sweep over
wait,
that.
wait. I have to give the caveat to that piece. I I pride myself. I served 10 years in the United States Navy. I pride myself on being very professional.
Mhm.
I promise you I do. What, Andrea?
Go ahead,
Stop it.
tell the story.
I got you, Farrah. I got you. But when you get to a point where you know that you know that you know that God is calling you to do something and you haven't been obedient in that thing,
Come on now. Come
I
on now.
had to have a conversation. I was even scared to have a conversation with my husband
Mhm.
because I know what God has called me to do. But I said, God, if this is really you, you're going to have to tell him too, because he might not understand and he might not be on board with this plan that you have for my life. Let me tell you how crazy I am. I have been hesitating for months to have this conversation. As soon as I asked him, and I did because I respect my husband as the leader of my home, and
Absolutely.
we work as a team.
Right.
So I asked, I did,
Mhm.
because that's the woman that God made me to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because it used to be a time I'd be like, ask who what?
Exactly. Right?
I'm not asking nobody nothing.
Nothing.
But God,
Mm-hmm.
He has matured me and grown me up.
Right.
I asked and I said, "Hey, babe, look, this is what it is." I
Mm-hmm.
said, first and foremost, I'm tired of getting up at 4:30 in the morning. You already know that story.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I know. I'm tired of getting up at 4:30 in the morning too with you.
Because I text her, "Good morning, sunshine." But no, I said I'm tired of getting up at 4:30 in the morning. And then when I get up that early, I have to drive so far. It was really beginning to take a toll on my physical and mental health.
Mm-hmm.
That's another reason I had to begin to be obedient. See, we don't understand how there are so many things tied into and wrapped up in our obedience.
Yes. Yes.
It's a lot. It's not only about us.
Right.
It's not only about that one little teeny tiny thing that
Right.
we are hesitant to do because we're scared. It's so much wrapped up, caught up, and tied up in that step of obedience. Okay, so let me keep going so we can get up off of here. But so Friday I ended up leaving. I had a conversation with my husband. I told him I couldn't do it anymore. He actually agreed with me. And over the weekend, after I did what I did, he told me, he said, "You know what?" He said, "This is the most peaceful I've seen you in a very long time."
Wow.
Because I felt like a weight had been lifted off of my shoulders.
Yeah.
And the weight wasn't because of the job itself, the
Right.
weight was because of the fact that I stepped in obedience.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you, I don't know what God gonna do over these next few days.
Right.
I have bills still, just like everybody else. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
My husband pays the majority of everything, and I've always been the type, whatever bill I create, I want to be responsible for. I
Right.
don't want to have to go to him and say, "Hey, give me this and give me that." That's
Right.
not the woman I am.
Right.
I
Right.
know he's there. I know he will. I know he can. I know he is able, but that's just not who I am.
But can I just say something?
Mm-hmm.
I know that you know this, right? But
Uh-huh.
but when you got married,
Mm-hmm.
you became one.
Of course, yes.
You became
Yes.
one. So it's not you and him,
It's not.
it's the two of you together.
Yeah.
And I'm only telling you that because somebody had to explain that to me, okay?
And I do. And that's the thing about it. We learn these things so we can help and share with each other. And that's one
Right.
thing that I love about the Shine Crew, because I know we've had conversations where it's like, "Oh, okay, Andrea, yeah, you're right. Yeah, let me look at it that way." And that's the thing. It's like in my mind, there we go again. I kept thinking to myself, "Well, God, I just don't want to be a burden to him. He already does so much. I don't want to be a burden." Man, my husband and I, we had so much fun this morning. I went to the park and walked. I rode around and hung out with him. And that's been our relationship.
Yeah.
That job took away a lot of the time that we had together.
Yeah.
And one thing I realized, I'm getting older. We're getting older. We're not getting any younger. And I don't want to be in a situation where I'm so old because, I've worked these 8 hours a day for 5 days a week for so long
Mm-hmm.
that it takes such a toll on me physically that when I do retire, I'm too broke down to do anything.
Anything. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to live like that. I don't want to be that person.
Right.
So that's basically it. I actually had a remarkable conversation with my VP of finance. I had a remarkable conversation with the director of my department. Like I say, I don't leave on a bad note
Right.
because there's some things that were going on in the department that needed to be brought to light. I was
Mm-hmm.
able to share that with them so they could make changes
Right.
and bring about good things for the people who are left behind.
Right.
So I even told my
Perfect.
director, I told her this morning, I said, if I had to be the sacrificial lamb for change to go forth, my job is done.
Done. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
that's where we are today.
But I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I understand the mindset, and sometimes that is something that gets ingrained in us from other people in our lives, right?
Mhm.
Could be our mothers, it could be our aunties, it could be women that we look up to, our grandmothers. It could be a cultural thing, right? And that part of it is rooted in pride. Is
Oh,
rooted in
that's
pride,
good.
right?
Yes.
And so we never look at ourselves and say we're prideful people, because for the most part we're humble, right?
Right.
So we don't look at ourselves as being prideful, but we have to realize that, and this is why, and Mike and Lisa, they talking, they have their conversations. And they said, and Mike says obedience is at the top of the Shine Crew dictionary, right? And he said he started to dislike the word, and I know it's, I know they're making jokes, and I know it's all fun, um, but that is really what has changed everything in my life. That's what changed everything. Hold on one second. Gordon's gonna clean my okay. Thank you. Don't I look clearer now?
You do.
Okay. Thank you. That's enough.
Remember the guy that
That's
cleans
enough.
your windshield?
Yes. What? Now you want money? Get out of here, man. You're looking for a tip. When you're driving down the road and they come and they clean your windshield, right?
You better tip, Gordon.
Yeah.
Love you too, Gordon.
No, you gotta say love you, Danny.
Please don't.
Um, but and like I said, I know that it's all fun, it's all in fun and whatever. I know they're not serious about that, but that is what makes the difference in our lives. That's what makes the difference, and that's what gets us into position, to get us to where we give God something to work with. We have to give God something to work with. And I was talking about this last night as well, when I said, in my first hour, when I said we can't, just like we were talking about the other day when we were reading, and it said God is not going to bless you where you don't belong, right? God is not going to bless you where you don't belong.
Yeah.
And so we can't expect God to bless us in the thing that we want him to bless us in if we're not doing what he wants us to do.
True.
And so, like, when I was in the beginning, before I started doing Shine with Andrea, he was very clear about me going live and doing my devotions live. And I didn't want to do it because I was afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And I questioned everything. And like, I think it was Patrice that said, what did she say last week? That there's no intercom system with God. Like, I think that's how she said it. Like, we want God to give us all the details. We want it all. We want it all. We want every detail, how it's going to work, when it's going to work, what do we need to do, how do we need to do it, all of that stuff. And God is not going to do that. But what he will do, Janny,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
what he will do is, when we take that first step, and that first step is always in faith. It's a faith walk.
Mhm.
Obedience starts with faith, because we have to believe, we have to trust, but we can't just say it in our minds. We can't just say we trust God. We
Yes.
have to walk in that trust, right? And so when we finally walk in it, that's when God starts to, our path is like this. And when we walk in it and we start to be obedient, this is what he does. And he opens up our path and he makes our crooked places straight. And then he starts sending everything that we need. All the things that we were afraid of, all the things that we said we couldn't do it because of, he starts to send all those things. He starts to send all those things along that path. When the moment that we open up and we say, you know what, I'm gonna stop asking questions. I'm gonna stop playing this thing over and over and over in my head. I'm gonna change my mindset. You know, all my life I've been that kind of woman where I don't want nobody to give me anything or to provide for me. I want to do my thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we don't realize that God wants to break in us
Yes.
so that he can do more with us and for us. But until we take that first step of faith and give him something to work with, we sit in a place for too long. We sit in a place for too long.
So true. You know, it's funny how you were just talking about the path opening up. It reminds me, last night I was watching Hoarders, and it's just so crazy because I'm like, this is all a setup. But the way they had it all set up, they had so much trash in this one house that the people couldn't walk straight ahead. They actually had to turn sideways
Mm-hmm.
because they only had that much space in order to move from room to
Mm-hmm.
room in the house. And it
Mm-hmm.
was so much trash and it was so much clutter. And he's downloading now.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so much that it was prohibiting them to move. And even in our spiritual lives, that's how it is sometimes. It's like we have so much trash around us that
Mm-hmm.
it prohibits us to move.
Move. Yeah.
And God, he's sending in the team to clear it all out, to get all that muck and miry out of the way. And let
Right.
me tell you, the crazy part is, God, I notice you. The
Mm.
crazy part is, we have people that they send to help us, but we still want to hold on to all this trash.
And it's a mindset. It's a
Yes,
mindset. That's not
yes,
somebody who is clear of mind, sound in mind, and
yes,
and is keeping all of this trash. It's
right.
a mindset.
Yes. So think about that, not only in the sense of this show, Hoarders,
Mm-hmm.
but think about it in our spiritual lives.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons that's one topic that God continues to tell me to remind the blooms and blossoms of the growth gang is you have to change your mindset. If you want change in your life, you
Yep.
have to change your mind. And what happens is when those people that God sends into your life, they begin to move all the trash away,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go in and you begin to see. They took this one lady, they said, okay, let's start with the breakfast area, if you don't mind, just give us permission to start with the breakfast area. She was like, okay, fine, you can do the breakfast area. Once they did the breakfast area and she went in, and just like you said, that first step, it
Mm-hmm.
once you start moving
Moving.
in
Yep.
and it begins to open up,
Yep.
all that trash is gone, it
Yep.
slowly begins to open up, and
Yep.
then it's like, wow, God, I never knew this is what you had for me. I never knew how beautiful this space was. This is what God is doing in my life right now.
Yeah.
This is exactly what he's doing in my life right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling anybody to go out there and quit their jobs if that's not what God told you to do. But this hasn't been something that I decided quickly. I
Right.
did not. Let me help you out. This isn't something that I really, really, really wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like my own money. I like to do what I'm gonna do. When I want to do it, how I want to. That's just me. Okay.
Right.
So me walking away, that was out of obedience to other things that I know that he has told me he
Yep.
wants me to do.
Yep.
The 8 hours in the first part of my day cannot continue to be given to somebody else. They
Mhm.
have to be able to be given to him and what he wants me to do with what he has given me.
Because he is your source.
Exactly.
God.
And you have to hear God for yourself.
No. Yeah.
Hear God for yourself. All
Mhm.
of our walks are different. Some people might sit back and be like, oh, well, she's just trying to be like Andrea. You know what? Andrea is a very good example. And God put her in my life for a reason.
Mhm.
So I don't know why he may have put her in your life. You seek God on your own behalf and do whatever it is he tells you to do. But until he tells me to stop following Andrea Harrison, the chief shine crew of the chief shine officer of the shine crew, I'ma do everything that God tells me to do.
But you know
Everything.
what? God sends us a guide. He always sends us the people we need
Yes.
because they're walking it out and we get to see it for ourselves. That's how that is how, that's how we get to see things that he's trying to show us. TJ was that person or is that person for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been TJ and I have been friends for probably about 8 years or so now.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that I'm doing, it has come natural to me because I watched her do it, and some of the stuff I helped her build, but I couldn't do it for myself. I didn't see it for myself, right off the bat. And there's some things that I saw and I said the time is not now. But this is like I used to tell people, there's a lot of people in New York City that have never left New York City. A matter of fact, there's a lot of people that live in Brooklyn that never even went to Manhattan or to the Bronx.
Yes.
A lot of people in the Bronx that's never been to Staten Island, right? And if you don't get out and explore, if you're not exposed to certain things, you're not going to know that there's a world beyond where you live. Right. And so it's the same thing. If you don't take that first step and explore, if you don't take, like you said, take the example of people around you and see what they're doing, how they are paving the way, and they're trailblazers in their own right, and they're building things and they're showing you how it's to be done, but you're still sitting around saying, well, I need to hear directly from him. But a lot of times it's God puts these people in our lives to show us how it's to be done so that we can do it. And then as we go along, we figure it out because he's leading us. We figure it out because he's leading us, right? And so I'm ever so grateful that you were able to share this story this morning, especially, like I said, I did not read day 77 today. I don't remember exactly what it says until I start reading it. I don't remember exactly what it says, but just the mere fact that we were talking about comfort zones and you stepping out of your comfort zone and how it's a dangerous place to not be where God wants you to be.
Yes.
And so for it to say danger zones, I can't wait to see. And
Let's
we already just about an hour in. This has been so good. Woo! Okay. So it says, the verse is Proverbs 4:12. And it says, when you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. And so for anybody out there that is afraid to take that first step because you're not sure, you're not sure, right? Because it's hard. Like I told you, and the reason why I say what I say is because it's because of me. I'm not, please know that nothing I say is ever, my heart don't work like that. Nothing I say is ever directed at anybody. I don't talk like that. If I have something to say to you, I'm going to be in your inbox. So I'm going to say, can we talk? So nothing I say is ever directed to anybody. What I say is my experience, because it took me a long time. It took me years to move and to get to where I am, because I am a person who asks questions, and I always need God to come down and tell me. I need God to come. I need to hear it from him. And I've never heard the audible voice of God. But what I can tell you is, as I have been taking those steps of faith and being obedient, taking those steps of being obedient, he is showing me more and more as I do my devotions, as I read the word, as I spend time with him. And I listen, don't get it twisted. Please don't think that I'll be sitting in somebody's closet for hours and hours and hours. I'm not I was not created that way, right? And so we all have our own walk. We all have our own walk with God, right? And we got to do it. We have to do it our own way, and I respect that. I respect that, right? But the one place that my mother taught me that you don't ever want to be is outside of the will of God. That's one place we don't want to be. We don't want to be outside of the will of God. And for so long, I was outside of his will. And being outside of his will doesn't mean that, you out there standing on the street corner.
Right.
That it don't have to be that drastic. We can be outside of his will and still be preaching in the pulpit. But we are human, and God gives us grace, and he gives us mercy, right? But it also says, when you take that step of faith, when you walk out of your comfort zone, when you start to do what I've asked you to do, that's how I'm interpreting this, right? It says, when you walk, your steps will not be hampered. He's telling you, go ahead. Come on, baby girl. Come to me. Come on, baby boy. Come to me, right? Your steps are not going to be hampered. And when you run, you're not going to stumble. So it says God's divine invitations are intentionally inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
He sends us to unpopular places to prepare us before he enlarges our territory. Come on, Jan. Come on, Jan. Oh my gosh. Woo, the method. You ready for these next two words?
I'm scared.
The method may appear risky, and it will most certainly challenge what we think about ourselves, our beauty, our readiness, and our ability. However, the uncomfortableness that comes with a calling will reveal which broken beliefs are blocking our entry into bigger.
And see, you know what, Andrea? I think for me personally, when I did 100 Days of Believing Bigger the first time, I saw that it's like she started one place,
Mm-hmm.
and by the time you got to the end of that book, your mind was just blown.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
I'm one of those people. I've gotten to a place with my walk with God where it's like I just believe that he has more for me.
Right.
Months and months ago, he just kept giving me that scripture that says, Jesus didn't just die for us. He
Mhm.
died so that we can have life more abundantly. He didn't die for us just to have life, but have life more abundantly.
Right.
I have a few tattoos, but that more abundantly is like a tattoo in my spirit.
Yes.
I know the God that I serve made me for more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just at a point in my life where I want to take the chance,
Yes.
take the risk. I
Yes.
say, okay, God, I did what you wanted me to do. Now what we gonna do?
Right.
What you got for me?
Right.
Not physically, not monetarily. What do
Right.
you want me to do? What's my next step?
Right.
Because
How do you want me to use these first
yeah,
8 hours of my day?
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, just today, he's blowing my mind. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what it's going to look like tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to look like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But let me tell you what I am going to do. Number one, I'm going to trust him.
Yes.
I'm going to trust him with my day.
Yes.
I'm going to trust him with my day. I'm going to command my day, and I'm not going to let my day command me. My
Mm-hmm.
husband say, "What you getting ready to go do?" I say, "It's 10 o'clock. I'm getting ready to go tap in to shine with Andrea."
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's gonna stop, interrupt, disturb this,
Right.
because I know that this is what God wants me to do today.
Right. Right.
And the thing about it is, yeah, being obedient isn't easy.
Right.
And when Andrea was talking about TJ being her person, let me expound upon that just a little bit, and then we're gonna get up off of here. But my thing is, when I got connected to Andrea connected me with some women that she doesn't even know she connected me with. Because not only does she show up, Andrea is a sharer. She's always giving something to pour into somebody else. So I don't only show up because of Andrea, I also show up because of Rashonda.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Rashonda's platform is visibility
Yes.
and how to expand your visibility,
Yes.
how to get to a point where you begin to get paid for your visibility. But in order for you to get paid for your visibility, you first have to begin to show up.
Yep.
So, if I want God to expand my visibility and put me in a position where I begin to get paid for my visibility, what do you think I have to do? I
Mm-hmm.
have to take my first step. I have to step out on faith. I
Right.
have to be obedient, and
Right.
I have to do what I got to do to work towards that.
Right.
Andrea is not the only woman that I look up to. I look up to Rashonda. I look up to Cheryl Polite Williamson. Baby, she is a beast.
Yes, she is. Yes.
Baby, she has her play going on. She did her video just the other day talking about God told her if she has faith, he has favor. Baby, I will
Mhm.
never forget that as long as I live.
Yes. Yes.
Because so don't get it twisted and think, oh well, she just want to be like Andrea. Let me tell you, I want to be powerful. I
That's
want to be impactful. I want to empower women. I want to encourage them. I want them to know that Jesus loves them. I want them to go higher because they deserve more.
right.
That's the call on my life.
Right. Right.
That's just it. It
Right.
is what it is.
Right. Right. And the thing is like you can't be me, I can't be you, and we shouldn't even try to do those things, right? Because
Mm-mm.
what God put inside of us is for the people that He's assigned to us.
Yeah.
Because there are people that are going to come across you that you are for them, and they'll watch me and they'll be like, oh, that was a good word, but they were not meant, I was not assigned to them. So so we have to be comfortable in who we are, and we look at the people around us, because of Cheryl Pullings, because of Rashonda Pratt, because of TJ Mercer and other women. But those are the main three in my life, right? Those are the main three in my life. Because of them, I have their fingerprints on me, right? But I never, ever, ever, ever wanted to be them or be like them. But they have been guides for me to show me what's possible if I tap into me and what God has placed inside of me. Because for far too long, and each one of them have told me, you have to stop being the world's best kept secret.
Yes.
You have to stop, because they saw things in me that I didn't see in myself. And so God places people around us and insulates us. And that's why I love the Shine Crew so much. That's why I love what he's done here with us. God has insulated us. And he put us together so that we could shine, right? But as we're shining, we're lighting up the room. And then it's like you can't help but shine too. Right? So anyway, let me go ahead and finish reading this. So it says, however, the uncomfortableness that comes with a calling will reveal which broken beliefs are blocking our entry into bigger. God will do what it takes to capture our heart and correct our vision. And the divine invitation to lead anew will challenge our hidden attachment to our circumstances, our conformity, and our comfort zone. Says the call to lead will ultimately reveal what and in whom we really trust. Do we trust what we know, or do we trust who we know? Divine leadership, which is the mantle of every woman, requires a willingness to surrender control and actively align with God's leading, especially when it doesn't make sense. I'm sure nothing that happened this week made sense to you. I'm sure none of it made sense, right? And it's not going to make sense to other onlookers who were not in the conference room with you when you and God had that conversation. It's not going to make sense to them. That's why there's certain things that we don't discuss with certain people, because they weren't there. They weren't there when God spoke directly to you. They weren't there when you felt what he said. They weren't there. And so they're not going to be able to understand it because it's not for them to understand. It says obedience tests our trust. It unmasks hidden idols and reveals true fears. The danger zone is not the danger zone is not where we are going. The real danger is where we are staying.
Wow.
That was my thing. That's what almost got me in trouble, is staying someplace. And you talked about that today. For you, is staying someplace that we're uncomfortable in. We know we're not supposed to be here, but how are we going to do it? How is this going to happen? How am I going to maintain? How am I going to, and this is why I believe God has allowed me. He's allowed a beautiful story to start being told. He's creating a beautiful story in my life, based even though I was disobedient. Even though I was disobedient, God has used it for my glory, for his glory, and for other people to see. So it may have taken me a long time, but he will always, like it said, correct us and send us what we need, right? So it says the real danger is where we are staying. That's why God uses radical methods to disrupt us and redirect us. He loves us too much to leave us. As we walk in obedience, we'll walk through the doorways of destiny. Wow. We'll walk through the doorways of destiny. So the question today is, in what ways Is God asking you to do something that seems risky or unpopular?
Done. Put my picture right next to that.
And so the prayer is, Lord, no circumstance is too dangerous for you to achieve victory. Thank you for making me a dangerous woman designed to win and not stumble. We were made to win. We were not made to stumble. So whatever it is, whatever it is, if you're not sure, if you have questions, like Jan had questions, I had questions, I wasn't sure, Jan wasn't sure. But when God says move, and I'm not saying he comes down and he says, Jan, move. I'm not saying that. But there are other ways, and there are people that he puts in our lives that he has us see how this thing works. He has us see ourselves in them, like, oh, I could see myself doing that. Yeah, that feels good to me. That comes natural to me because that's who I am. And we start to learn things about ourselves by the people that he puts around us. And we start to see other people doing other things, and it opens up, like I was talking about, exposure, and it opens up those windows so we can see more than what we're used to seeing on our block, in our neighborhood. We saw the same thing over and over and over again, right? We didn't see anything outside of that. So a lot of times people don't even realize that they can come up out of there because that's all they've ever seen in their life. And so God puts people around us for us to see that there's more and that we were made for more. But we got to take that first step when we don't know. Like Martin Luther King said it, and I know I'm not going to say it the right way. I'm not quoting him. I'm paraphrasing. But his quote about the staircase, that sometimes we just have to trust that the stairs are there. When you're at the staircase, you just got to take that step, and we trust that the staircase is there, and we just keep taking steps, So I'm going to look that up just so that I can say it right. Martin Luther King staircase quote. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step.
Wow.
You don't have to see the whole staircase. Because when I started on this journey with Shine with Andrea, I did not see what is happening today, the things that have transpired, the things that I did not see. Let me tell you something, Jan. We could be with our mindset, if we do not allow God to show us things through the people that he put around us. When I started this journey was about me just being obedient. And it was about me just going live and doing my devotions live because that's what he had told me to do for so long. I did not know a growth gang would come out of Shine with Andrea. I did not know that a Tara Freeman would come and start doing devotions. I didn't know that Nene would start doing devotions. Roxanne would start doing devotions. I did not know that a Coretta would come to me through a Jan and start doing devotions. I had no idea. That was not the part of the staircase that I could see. I didn't know all of that. I had no idea that me starting would have us in position to write an anthology. I didn't know all of that. But we got to take the first step of faith. We don't have to see the whole staircase. So for anybody that's out there and you trying to see the staircase because you want to know where you're going to place your foot, God is saying, trust me, just take the first step. And I can't explain anymore. Well, how do I know what the first step is? You just have to take it and you'll figure it out. He will help you to figure it out. Because what did he say in his word today, Jan? He says, when you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. That right. This is why I say that we have to change our perspective by reading his word. We change our mindset by reading his word. So if his word says, when you walk, your steps will not be hampered. When you run, you will not stumble. Then we got to trust him on that. We got to trust him on that. And if we get it wrong, guess what? He will course correct us in love. In love. So, woo! You coming back tomorrow? I'll let you think and pray on that one. But
yes, I am not committing right now. I don't know what my day may hold.
Good answer. Good answer. But thank you for coming on. And this was
Thank
not
you for
planned.
having me.
This was not planned. I saw you and I was like, oh, wait a second. She can come on here.
Yeah, because I shared with you what I did, but you didn't know all the details of it.
Right.
Because there were still things, transpiring even up to this morning. And that's a whole nother story all by itself for another day. But it was things have been transpiring since Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody don't have to know everything.
Nope.
Nope. But thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
Really
thank you guys for having me. I appreciate being here.
Yeah. This was amazing. And I just looked down and there's a sticker on my desk and it says big journeys begin with small steps.
Oh, wow. Can you take a picture of that and send it to me?
I will. It says big journeys begin with small steps. Yeah. Wow. All right, y'all. Well, Shine Crew, this was a day that God knew was going to happen. Imagine he knew that this was going to happen before either one of us were born.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the comments right now. And there's a lot of love in the comments for you.
Yeah, I see it. And I'm so grateful. I love you guys.
Yes. All right, y'all. We love you. Don't go anywhere, Jan.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys. Bye. We'll see you tomorrow for day 78. Day 78, Jay. Ooh. She'll be back tomorrow, y'all. God's going to tell her because it says going where God guides. Woo! All right, y'all. Bye.